It's a cooler start to the weekend, but another round of rain will put a damper on some plants when you'll want to keep your umbrella handy.
1,000 gallons of sewage flowing into this creek here in Clayton. What we've learned about how often this has happened before.
And 3 victims in 1 week. No, it's not the start of some true crime story. It's the Peace Street Bridge. That's right, the Peace Street Peeler, the can opener, the bane of many a beer truck, and it strikes again. So how do you solve a decades-old problem? We'll look into the possible solutions. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday night. Great to have you with us. I'm Ashley Rowe. We are talking power bills, rain damage, and trucks taking a beating from a bridge. We want you to be part of the conversation, so please do send me an email, indepth@WRAL.com. We read all of your questions and feedback. Your messages drive what we talk about on this newscast. First up, let's look at the futurecast tonight. We've seen spotty rain and clouds all day long. More showers are expected tonight. Kat, it looks like those showers might stick around into tomorrow, but not for too long. It's not going to be a total washout.
Exactly. We're not looking at a washout weekend, but we do have some more rain on the way. And on the dual Doppler 5000 radar, we've got a little bit of drizzle and mist out there. But I did want to point out we've got some showers developing around Durham. Those are pushing to the east and in the northern part of our viewing area. But not a whole lot of action on the radar. And what we do see is just going to be very low impact for evening plans. Here is the front that we're watching. It could slip back to the north tonight and help to steer that round of rain our way. This would really ramp up overnight into tomorrow morning, so well past midnight. Tomorrow, just 77 for the high. It's going to be another cloudy, gray day, and it may look like it's about to rain all day because of the clouds, but it's not going to be a washout. And then Sunday, we're down to a 20% storm chance, 87 for the high on Sunday. Hour by hour rain chances tomorrow will be the highest in the morning. And then once we make it past lunchtime, gradually our rain chances taper off. And the forecast is looking pretty good for the NOAA concert. I'll have a closer look at what to expect on Futurecasts coming up.
All right, Kat. We have been getting a lot of rain recently. July had record rain. We need it, yes, but it can also cause serious damage. Look what happened to the Handy Hugo on Hillsborough Street in Raleigh. Talk about a mess. The staff there tells us rain was collecting on the roof, so much so that the roof caved in. And we've seen trees down, flooding, all the typical summer storm stuff, right? But in Johnston County, a treatment plant overflowed, 1,000 gallons spilling into a creek. Officials blame the rain, and they say this isn't the first time this has happened. WRAL's Heidi Kirk found out what's being done to fix the problem.
This type of thing has happened in Clayton 4 times in the last 5 years. That sewage flowing from a stormwater pipe just like this one into Little Creek. And this is just steps away from more than a dozen homes in this community.
The water looks clear, even inviting on a hot day. But just yesterday, 1,000 gallons of wastewater flowed into Little Creek.
Running through the town and I live here? That's not good.
A spokesperson for the town of Clayton says the heavy rainfall triggered this by putting pressure on the sewer systems and causing the overflow. They say no environmental impacts have been identified. But when we ask the DEQ the same question, they say sewer spills often contribute to harmful bacteria or pathogens. When we asked people who lived by the creek if they knew about this, they said no.
I'm wondering why they haven't put it out where they're letting us know what's going on. And I wish they would let us know what's going on so we'll know what we can do.
We learned about it from a press release the town is required to send out.
But now that I'm hearing about this, I will be kind of checking up on it and trying to find out what I can do to find out what they're doing about it.
A town spokesperson says it's working on opening a new treatment facility that will have double the town's current capacity, and they say that should prevent this from happening again.
And that new facility is expected to go online later this year. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News in Clayton.
Let's roll you through today's big headlines. Here are 5 things you should know right now. A bad crash in Wake Forest this afternoon. Sky 5 flying over the scene on Stony Hill Road. This is at the Stonywick Lane intersection. You can see car parts all over the road. We're told there are multiple injuries. No details yet on how many or who was involved. We're going to keep checking back on this one. A man is in the hospital tonight after a shooting on Formosa Avenue in Durham. Sky 5 flying over the scene this afternoon. Police say the victim and the suspect both know each other. They say there's no active threat to the community. Cyclospora keeps spreading in Wake County. 402 confirmed cases in the county alone. 7 people are in the hospital. That number's up. The outbreak now spans 9 states, and the CDC confirms hundreds of them are linked to shredded lettuce. North Carolina isn't connected to that lettuce issue just yet. Health officials here are still working to confirm the source. Raleigh police arrested another teenager connected to the violence on the 4th of July. 17-year-old Kenna Daughtry will be charged as an adult. She faces multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon. Daughtry is one of several teenagers charged in this case. And a prisoner is back in custody after escaping this morning. Raymond Warren broke out of the Forsyth Correctional Center in Winston-Salem. He was found at a house near the prison this afternoon. The state says Warren will move to Central Prison in Raleigh. Right now, I want to get to a good question we received from a viewer named Billy. Billy emails us a lot, and this time he wrote, "I wrote you several months ago about the cheap, effective way to prevent all of the many vehicles destroying the tops of their cabs trying to pass under the train bridge. Why did you not notify the Department of Transportation then?" Billy's talking about the Peace Street in downtown Raleigh, that bridge, specifically the train bridge that goes over Peace Street near Glenwood Avenue. The bridge has claimed 3 victims so far this month. One truck got its top torn off on Tuesday. Last week, the bridge took a big old bite out of this truck and peeled the back of the roof off of it. Billy says there is a cheap and effective way to prevent this. And he thinks we, WRAL, should be sending the suggestion to the State Department of Transportation. But the thing is, the DOT definitely already knows about this problem. It's happened at least 21 times. I mean, the score? Bridge, 21. Semi-trucks, 0. In 2007, a Michelob Ultra truck got stuck under the bridge, causing a traffic mess. No one was hurt. In 2015, this truck got stuck under the bridge, but you can see somehow traffic managed to keep flowing with this incident. And here's another crash from 2015. Another semi stopped in its tracks. And look at the big chunk of the truck that they had to haul away. In 2018, a Bud Light truck crashed and got stuck under the bridge. And in 2023, a Busch Light truck crashed into the bridge. What's with all the beer trucks and the bridge? It's a little ridiculous. Like, look, why does this keep happening? And what can we do about it? Well, our viewer, Billy, he has some ideas, right? So let's hear him out. Back to Billy's email. He wrote, "All they need to do is hang a bar across the road on both sides leading to the bridge with small chain lengths spaced out about every 18 inches. They mimic the height of the bridge opening along with the warning. As the vehicle approaches the bridge, if it hits the chains, they will stop immediately." I guess that makes sense, right? The truck hits the chains, the truck stops and turns around. Billy might be onto something here. The Facebook page Raleigh Downtown pitched a similar idea, but instead of chains, they proposed big red hanging balls. What? Okay, technically those aren't balls. They're called clankers. And we have seen other cities use this strategy before. Check out this news story about how Newark, Delaware solved its truck versus bridge problem.
We originally thought they would be metal and that clank would be the sound when the truck hits them. We ended up going, they're really just, it's a buoy, it's a marine buoy.
Now you can't hit the bridge without hitting a clanker first. In 2022, only days after they went up, a tall truck tested them.
It made it through and it flipped the clankers all over and the guy stopped. And we're like, oh, thank goodness the guy stopped.
Wait, is it a clanker or a buoy? I'm confused here. All right, that's aside. That isn't the only idea out there. In Washington, D.C., they have what's called an overheight vehicle detector. It measures how tall a truck is. If it's too tall for the bridge, a big bullhorn just down the road will sound the alarm alerting the truck driver. In Raleigh, over on Peace Street, we don't have any of that. All we have are these signs that you see here telling truck drivers how high the bridge is. It might sound like the city or the state isn't doing enough, but to be fair, that's actually what most states and cities do. They put up signs and lights, and it's up to the truck drivers to keep an eye out and to know if their truck can fit. There's actually a pretty popular transportation department campaign about this. in several states. We found an incredible PSA for this out of New York State. Take a look.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday.
Whether you're a tall truck driving under a low bridge or just the tall guy at work, check your height. Know it's right.
I'm obsessed with that video. I want to know everything about it. I want to know who those actors were. Are they actors? Do they work for the DOT? I want to know all of it. Nevertheless, it's important advice for any beer truck drivers headed to Glenwood South. Tell us what you think about this story. Send us an email, indepth@WRAL.com. Should Raleigh try something like what they did in Washington, D.C. and Delaware? Or is this all on the truck drivers? Tell us what's on your mind, and we'll go in depth. Still ahead, electricity use in North Carolina is about to shoot through the roof. It's because of population growth and, you guessed it, data centers. Let's talk about how Duke Energy plans to handle that. And a Cary woman disappears in Grenada. Elizabeth Waddell was vacationing with her husband. He came home, she didn't. A closer look at the search tonight on WRAL News at 11. North Carolina projects electricity use in our state to jump between 16 and 60% in the next 2 years. That is a huge range. In 20 years. Did I say 20 years? 20 years. It's a huge range. And consider this. Over the previous 20 years, electricity use increased just 7%, which means in the years ahead, we will either double that or we will blow it out of the water. Duke Energy is already planning for this, upgrading our grid. And a big piece of that is batteries. WRAL climate change reporter Liz McLaughlin takes us inside one of their projects.
Today, the sun isn't doing solar panels any favors. That's why Duke Energy is investing in battery storage facilities like this to bridge the gap and supply energy during peak demand.
It's the largest currently on our system.
This Duke Energy facility doesn't generate electricity. It stores it with batteries holding onto excess power until the grid needs it most.
If we can take that solar in the middle of the day, move it to dinner time, then now that keeps us from having to use as much of other technologies or less efficient resources.
That's becoming more important with growth from data centers and new residents. Batteries give grid operators another option when demand surges.
And being able to have that capability to use this storage instead of maybe a less efficient generating unit or purchasing power from somewhere else can save our customers money, but it also provides that reliability that they expect.
The Knightdale site can deliver 100 megawatts for about 2 hours, enough to cover the summer evening peak. Duke plans to expand battery storage to 6.5 gigawatts by 2035.
And our objective is always to get cleaner and smarter and more efficient.
The expansion comes as Duke seeks higher rates to build a bigger grid, including new natural gas plants. Some criticize Duke's scale back of renewable energy plans in recent years.
The utilities really need to embrace resources like solar and battery storage to a degree that's even more than what they have been doing thus far.
As electricity demand grows, so does the debate over the best way to meet it. Battery projects proposed over the next decade could provide enough energy for 4 million homes during that peak demand period. In Knightdale, I'm Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
So you heard Liz mention data centers. North Carolina's Energy Task Force believes data centers will be a big reason behind the expected surge of electricity use in the years ahead. There is some debate out there about whether or not this will increase our power bills. Some say it'll raise rates. Others say it'll lower rates. The reality is both can be true. I know it sounds strange, but we can explain. We're working on a big segment about this for Monday night, and we hope that you will tune in. In the meantime, join the conversation. Send me an email, indepth@WRAL.com. And on that point, if you watch us here at 7 o'clock pretty often, you might be wondering, what's up with the new email address? Well, this is the email address that we are going to be using from this point forward. You see, the way that we do things here at 7 has been super successful. Many of you email us telling us how much you appreciate it, and we appreciate your feedback. One viewer wrote, most news stories are brief and aren't given time to be able to go into those layers. And I really like where you discuss all aspects, pros and cons. Pamela wrote, I love the 7 o'clock. You guys are the best. And Mike wrote, I love to hear in detail about what's going on in Raleigh. Keep up the great work on the 7 o'clock news. Thank you so much for your feedback. You do really drive what we cover in this newscast. Every night we listen to your questions and your feedback. And WRAL as a whole is listening too. Very soon you're going to see the 7 p.m. style of news in more places, in other WRAL newscasts, on WRAL News Plus, YouTube, and all the social medias. You want the news to do more, to go in depth. So that is really the title that we are taking on here, in depth. That is the part that is changing. Our email address and our brand, you might call it, is now WRAL News in depth. But that's it. That's all that's changing. The 7 p.m. newscast is not changing. Everything you love about how Dan, Kat, and I do the news. By the way, Dan is just on vacation. He's coming back next week. The way that we do the news is not going anywhere. We will continue to ask for your ideas, and we will continue to go in depth. So please keep the emails coming. The 7 p.m. address does still work if it auto-populates, no big deal, but we are shifting to this one, in depth at WRAL.com. Tell us what you want to see on the news. Send us your questions and your feedback. This is your show, your segment. Tell us what's on your mind, and we'll go in depth. Kat?
All right, let's get into it tonight. 75 was our high today. That is the normal high for mid-October at RDU. Pretty remarkable to see temperatures like this in July, but to have a couple days in a row like this, tomorrow we're going to be in the 70s again. 3 days in a row in the 70s in July is significant. We're sitting at 73 degrees right now in Raleigh, 72 in Southern Pines, 74 in Fayetteville, 76 in Rocky Mount, and the warmest spot on the map is South Hill, Virginia. They're left out of this what we call cold air damming setup, and they're not seeing that cooler side of things. But we are seeing the humidity. It's not feeling like October just yet. We've been in the steamy category most of the day with dew points in the 60s. They've actually jumped up into the 70s. So we jumped up into the tropical category on the muggy meter, and it definitely feels like it outside. High humidity out there today, and the clouds hold on. It may look like it's going to rain, but we're not expecting a whole lot of rain to really add up in your rain gauge tonight. We do have some showers that are moving through areas like Durham right now, and those are headed for North Raleigh along I-540 especially. But overall, it's just some spotty showers out there tonight, and then we'll see another wave of rain steered our way overnight. But that really pushes in as we get into the early morning hours. So even past midnight, there probably isn't going to be a huge area of rain that moves through. By 4 a.m., you can start to see more of that rain developing, moving through 8, 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then as we get toward lunchtime, some patchy light rain will be left behind, and that would be the case into the afternoon. And the evening, I believe, will be mainly dry. Stay tuned for updates and check in with meteorologist Chris Michaels tomorrow morning for an update. Saturday, tomorrow, 77 for the high. Not too bad. A 60% chance for rain. And then Sunday, we'll start out with the potential for fog in the morning. And then the rest of the day, partly cloudy. It's warmer. Highs are in the mid to upper 80s. And we have a small chance of a thunderstorm popping up by the evening. But Sunday is definitely going to be more of your typical summer feeling day. Same with much of next week. We're back in the 90s by Monday. Tuesday, we'll have a chance for storms, especially at night. Tuesday, we are going to need to keep an eye on the severe weather potential with that system. It's our next front that'll be dropping in, so stay tuned for updates on that over the weekend. Highs next week hover right around the 90-degree mark, but after enduring a lot of mid to upper 90s and triple digits, that just doesn't sound too bad.
No, exactly. I totally agree. Thank you, Kat. Hey, are you headed to the beach this weekend? Maybe you've got a road trip coming up. Road trips to the coast are part of living in North Carolina. So let's lean into some of that nostalgia after the break. The Carolina coast is always packed this time of year, people making the drive to soak up the sun. Those road trips are part of living here. We found a story about road trips to the beach in the WRAL archive. Maybe it'll make you want to take a trip. Thanks for watching WRAL News at 7. Have a great weekend.
Katie Turney and her 2 kids are headed to the beach from Greensboro. 1 hour into the trip, and Erin's already asked the question.
I asked her how long do I get there one time.
After years of practice, Mom's ready with boredom blasters.
I usually have some little thing I can pass back after an hour and a half. I just passed my son a new Lego toy, so he's working on that.
Turney stocks her kids with books, crayons, and music or books on tape. Parents say separate Walkmans with earphones are a must. No one fights that way. Snacks beat boredom, too. Now, heading to a Triangle game store, you can find lots of travel entertainment. This one is like travel bingo.
You have many things actually on these 500 cards: a flag, a national Providence state or county flag, an old rickety fence, a person who turns their head to look at you.
Some of the games are brain teasers, or they test what kids know. That's a plus. There are also old favorites and more in convenient sizes for the car.
One way to end those "Mommy, are we there yet?" questions is to get the kids involved in the trip. Have them plot out your vacation route before you leave the house, and then let them follow along as you drive. It exercises good spatial skills, and they won't ask, "Where are we?" They'll already know.
Okay, everybody ready? Yeah.
Boredom blasters don't make the trip shorter, just happier, and maybe a little educational, too. Yvonne Simons, WRAL TV 5 News, Benson.